Today I would like to talk about lead generation. I hear this question a lot. How do I find clients for my photography business? How do I generate leads? So specifically, I wanted to show you 3 different lead generation systems that I use in my real estate photography business. And we'll start with the simplest approach and work up way to the most advanced systems. At the end of the video, I want to share my opinion about cold calling. I know it's a popular topic in real estate photography groups, and I want to explain why I personally don't like it and what I think works much better. So I'll give you an alternative to the cold calling systems. Now, before we start, I want to make one thing clear. I don't believe in giving away your entire service for free. A lot of photographers do things like a first shoot free, huge discounts. I actually tried that, and when I started, I offered a 50% discount, and honestly, it was a mistake. What I discovered is that huge discounts attract low quality clients. They use you once because you are cheap, and then they disappear. They don't value your work, and they are not loyal. They are simply shopping for the lowest price. Today, I don't do that. I still offer a 25% discount. This discount works much better, but honestly, I'm thinking to completely remove it because I just don't like it. Instead, I prefer a different approach. I like to offer a small part of the service for free, so something valuable, something useful, but not the entire service. So let me show you a couple of examples. So an example could be a free headshot for realtors. So a lot of realtors, they are still using headshots that are 5 or even 10 years old. So when I'm already at the property, it's very easy for me to take a few photos of the headshot. It's quick, it's useful, and most realtors appreciate it. You can do similar things, for example, with free drone shots. A realtor books a photography package and gets a free drone photos included. So maybe 4 or 5 aerial images. Another variation is free drone photos in exchange for a Google review. So for those who don't know, Google reviews are extremely important for your search engine optimization and AI as well, for AI searches. So the more positive reviews you have, the more trust signals you are sending to search engines and AI systems as well. So other options may include free virtual twilight, free virtual staging, or free detailed shots. All these things you can do literally with AI, like twilight transition from day photo to twilight, right? We all know pretty much how to do that easily with ChatGPT or some other AI platforms. You can offer, let's say, a free social media post. You can just create a few social media posts using AI platforms again. Most realtors struggle with marketing content, and this is a huge help for them, and they're going to appreciate you helping them with marketing content. You can use Canva or AI tools, as I mentioned, and the key idea is simple. So you don't give away the whole service, give away a valuable piece of the service. So something that make your offer more attractive. Now let's talk how to turn that offer into a funnel. So a very basic funnel looks like this. So you have a Facebook ad, for example, then you have a landing page. So here's an example of the landing page for free headshots for realtors, right? And it also has a form that pops up, and then realtor fills it out, and then this information goes to your CRM. What do I mean by CRM? So the CRM, in my case, I use GoHighLevel. So when realtor fills out the form, all this information goes to the CRM, and then you send them confirmation text message and email. So this is one of the simplest funnel that you can use, but it works very well. By the way, when you set up your Facebook ad campaign, I recommend using lead campaign. There are a few different ways of setting up Facebook campaigns, so please use lead campaign. And in this case, I'm using Facebook instant forms and landing pages. I'm not going to dive a lot into the technical aspects of how to set this up because it will require a different video, but I hope the idea is clear. So they land on this landing page, then they fill out the form, provide the information, and then once the form is submitted, they land on the success page, like this. So your request has been received, and then we send them a confirmation text message and email saying, hey, we got your request, thank you very much. Once you have a next listing, right, we are ready to take a headshot. We will do it for free. So that's an opportunity for you to meet with this client, and they're gonna stick with you because they have a free headshot offer. So why not to give you the next listing when they have it? Or obviously they can book right now if they're ready. Now, the system can work with pretty much any offer. As I mentioned, you can offer free twilight, free virtual staging, free detailed shots, or anything like that. So it's up to you what to offer. Now, when you need to create Facebook ads, I recommend using a platform that I like. It is actually called Supercale AI. Let me just quickly show you their website. So this AI platform, what I found is that it creates decent ads and like this, and also you can create ads with UGC, what they call talking heads anyways. So I've been using it, I like it, so highly recommend it, not too expensive, and it's literally takes a few minutes to generate different versions of a same ad and or offer. For those who don't know, the more creatives you give to Facebook to use in each ad campaign, the better, because some images work for one group of people, other images work for other group of people. Some like a light style, some of them prefer dark style. So it's not, you have to give different options to Facebook algorithm, so it finds the perfect leads for you, finds the perfect potential clients for you. But that's a different topic. It may take too much time to explain how Facebook works and how to set up those ad campaigns. So now there is something that many photographers overlook. The most valuable thing isn't the lead itself. The most valuable thing is the database you are building. So every time somebody fills out a form, they enter your CRM. And now you can communicate with them later, and you can send them spring promotions, summer promotion, fall promotion, holiday promotion, Christmas offer, reminder, newsletters, and you do that at almost no cost. So for example, right now I have 2,700 contacts in my CRM. These are realtors in my area, and I still have room to grow because there are 9,000 realtors in Calgary only, so I'm only have a fraction of this list. But this is very powerful because every time I send them some newsletter or another offer that I have, it costs me $0, right? And I can reach this huge audience free of charge within, I don't know, just to send one email, maybe you're going to take me a couple of hours to prepare and to set up a campaign. So as you notice, I use, it's called GoHighLevel CRM. This is one of my favorite ones. I did try a lot of other CRMs, but this is one of the most cost effective, and it's really powerful because it has so many different features. You can even build websites inside this CRM, and it connects to your Facebook accounts and things like that. So it's really good. So I highly recommend it. Now let's move to the second lead generation system. It's called Free Tools. So this is one of my favorite strategies. You've probably seen this before. Banks use mortgage calculators. Insurance companies use quote calculators. The idea is simple. You provide a simple, useful, free tool, and people use it. The tool solves a problem, and in exchange, you collect a lead. At the moment, I have several tools running. So I have social media reel generator. I have slideshow generator. I have property flyer generator that generates 3 property flyers, and I have a QR code generator. So all these tools were built, I built them personally, and they are great lead generation systems because I offer something free of charge for my potential clients. Not only it generates something useful marketing content for my clients, but it also helps my SEO and my AI search, because those who don't know, the more people spend time on your website, the better for your rankings. So it's really important to have something like Catch on your website that keeps your potential clients to stay on your website, because if you check your stats, you would probably find that many people spend a few seconds on your website. So this is not enough. The more time people spend, better, and it lowers the bounce rate, and it sends signals to Google and AI search systems to improve rankings of your website. So this is really helpful and important in different aspects. So speaking about how to create these free tools, this will require a little bit more technical knowledge. So what I use to create these tools is, first of all, I use AI coding systems like Claude or Augment Code. But you can also create simple tools using platforms, low coding platforms like, and this is my favorite one. So you create an automation system that generates some useful content for your potential clients. So in my case, I use NA10 also in some tools, and I use also this tool called JSON to Video. This platform basically allows you to generate social media and other video content. It's really cheap, a few cents per, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 2 cents per second. And you can use what's called API to generate this content. So you can automate the whole process from start to finish, and your potential clients are just going to be happy to use this content for their social media. This is really important because, as I mentioned before, many realtors struggle with generating content for social media, because it's not only because it's not easy, but it takes too much time, and if they hire somebody, it obviously takes money. So when you give them something for free, it's really useful because it almost no cost on your side and no time on your side, because it's like it generated automatically, right? And they get something useful that they can use for their listings. So it's like a win-win situation. And again, when you build these free tools, so it becomes obvious that, let me open and show you. So to generate free reels, obviously I need first name, last name, mail, and phone number, right? So because without that information, I cannot generate a useful reel for Realtor. But at the same time, all this contact information ends up in my CRM, which allows me to communicate with this potential client later when they have listings. And this is a great way of getting contact information from your clients, because they give it to you free of charge. And you can use this information later in your advertising campaigns or mail campaigns, and you can reach out to them later with some other offers. And by the way, if you don't have any coding knowledge, or you don't know how to build these tools using even no coding tools like N8N, you can always hire somebody on Fiverr or Upwork. You can find freelancer who can build these tools for you. So you just have to explain them idea, and they will easily build something for you. Now let's talk about the most advanced system that I personally use. So this is my scraping automation that I use for generating leads, and this is how it works. So there are two main websites. Actually, in my case, it's only one website that I use, is Realtor.ca. In your case, if you are in the United States, it could be like Realtor.com or Zillow, right? So there are options to scrape information from those websites and find contact information. So what I do, or what this system actually does for me, is that it scrapes daily new listings on website like Realtor.ca and Zillow. So once we have the data of new listings, then AI agent finds contact information. And sometimes the information is provided on those websites, like for example, phone numbers, right? United States, both number and email are mostly provided within the Realtor.com websites. In Canada, I think it's only phone number. So then the agent finds the contact information. Then there are some other systems that I use to make the data in a proper format and things like that. So, and then leads end up in my CRM. So this part is responsible for sending leads to my CRM with information about the listing, obviously the contact information of the realtor who listed the property. I also know I scrape most recent listings like that were posted today. And then my offer is I send them a free slideshow for that listing that they just created. So that means my CRM automatically sends them notification, hey, would you like to get a, first of all, it sounds like this, like congrats on your listing, add the address, right? Because I know the address. And then I offer them a free slideshow for their listing, which is a useful piece of marketing stuff for their listing, right? And if they reply yes, the system automatically generates the slideshow for them using the data that was scraped from the websites. So as you can see, I actually built quite a few listing campaigns. That's what I call them. And because I tried different approaches and different automations and things like that. So this is how the automation looks like. So the tag is new listing. So this is a starting tag or a trigger. So once I know that there is a new listing on Realtor, not me, but the system knows, right? Because it scrapes the data from Realtor.ca. So once I know that there is a new listing, I send initial text message offering them that free slideshow. I wait a little bit. If they reply positive, so the system actually identifies positive and negative answers. So, and I send them another text message, and then I send a webhook. It's called webhook to send to trigger the generation of the slideshow. And then I send them text message with a ready slideshow. So I do get lots of positive responses, but at the same time, do not expect the solution to all the problems. My suggestion is that you use different approaches and different automations and workflows. So this is technically one of the most advanced that I use. I still think the best approach is actually through Facebook campaigns, but this is one of the something that really works in my case, and it produces lots of leads, and it's inexpensive. It's very, very inexpensive compared to any Facebook campaigns that I ever ran. So I can show you some of the stats. So as you can see, 78% opened emails, I'm talking about the emails, right, in this campaign. So this is very good number, to be honest. 26% clicked. And I mentioned I use different approaches, different campaigns. So yeah, that's one of the most advanced automations that I currently use, and it works really well. What I'm trying to say, and one of the most important thing here, is that the whole process from the start to the end is automated. So I do not touch, I do not reply manually. I do not produce any content. It's all generated automatically, sent automatically, and replies are also automated and things like that. So everything is automated in this process, and it runs 24/7. A few times a day, basically, the automation scrapes new listings, sends leads to the to my CRM. CRM produces the following, right? So it sends initial text messages and emails. If they reply positive, it produces automatically the content for them and sends them back to the clients. So I'm not doing this manually. So this is all automated. That's what I call system. And this is why it's important to have these systems, including those offers that I mentioned earlier, like free headshots, free tools, free drone pictures, because it requires minimum time on your end. So this is what I call system, and this is something that you can automate in your daily marketing for your business. Now let's talk about cold calling. This is probably where some people will disagree with me. And that's okay. This is just my opinion based on my experience. I don't like cold calling because most realtors are busy and they are driving, they are showing houses, they are with clients, they are at the meetings, and most of them don't enjoy getting random sales calls. So if you are doing, if you're going to cold call, your offer has to be absolutely incredible. It has to be something so attractive that they don't immediately want to get off the phone, right? So the problem is that many photographers try to solve this offering everything for free. And as we already discussed, I don't think offering like completely free service is a long-term strategy. So instead, I prefer systems like I explained. So I like funnels, landing pages, lead magnets, automations, and free tools. So things that work in the background. Now, if you still want to use phone outreach, there is an option that I promised to tell you. I suggest using, instead of cold calling, I suggest using voice drops. So in your automation, what happens is that instead of text message or email, you send a voicemail. So it's a very interesting thing. What happens next is that Realtor's phone number, and this is kind of probably a secret that nobody, or maybe people don't really know about this, but the phone number doesn't ring. So Realtors see the missed phone call, and they see a message that you received a voicemail, but the phone actually never rings. So most of the realtors, and this is what I see from real life, this is not theory. So most realtors actually call back. Instead of listening to the voice message, they call back immediately, because everyone knows that the quicker you call back to your potential clients, the more chances that you're going to get a real lead, right? So a real client. So this is very important that you call back or connect with your potential clients within the next 60 seconds. So, and the researchers show that the probability of this person to become your client is extremely high if you call back within the first 60 seconds. So this is why the system is very interesting. So when you send a voice drop, right? So they call you back. And it's now your job to communicate with this potential client, with your realtor client, and explain like your services and give them offer. Now, this only works if you can talk and if you are a good salesperson, right? So this doesn't work in my case. I'm not a good speaker, and this automation that I actually show you, it belongs to a different person. And he can talk. We just like he's in the same market, so it works for him because he can talk and he can persuade customers. But he also gets lots of like many people hang up on him. But it works actually way better because realtor called back, not you calling them, and you don't know if they are busy, if they are driving, or if they talk to their clients. So it becomes very important. They can call you back when they're ready to talk to you, right? So this works way better than voice calls, cold calling. This works maybe like probably the efficiency of voice drops and text messages is equal, based on my experience, based on what I've seen, like, and stats that I get. And I highly recommend doing this approach because it's really good. So, and obviously before sending the voice drop, you need to know, like, you have to have that scraping automation that I showed you before here that scrapes recent listings and finds contact information of your potential clients. So like this step is first, and then the second step is automation that you have in your CRM, like GoHighLevel or some other similar CRMs. So my biggest lesson after all these years and building automations and funnels is that you can't rely on one marketing strategy or one system. So you cannot rely only on referrals or only on Facebook ads or only SEO or cold outreach. So you have to build multiple lead generation systems. So you have to build funnels, you have to build tools, you have to build email list. And this is one of the most important things, is that you have to have a email list, because you can communicate with your potential clients or your existing clients at any time free of charge. So please build your CRM database, build your Google reviews, and build all possible, use all possible systems and funnels that you can. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do in my own business. And I'm still learning. I'm not a guru, but I just wanted to share these ideas with you, because I hear this question a lot in photography groups about how do I find clients. So please do a few funnels, and please use CRM. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.